Zach Decker, how are you, bud? Thanks for sitting down with us on this race report.
I'm good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. So, from the little bit of video I've got to see, the track conditions were outstanding and the weather held for you guys.
Yes, yeah. Unlike last year where we had a triple downpour, the weather was nice and we were in for some good racing. So that was always it's always nice.
You guys were the only event that went off on Saturday? How many classes went off on Saturday?
So there were, I honestly forget the exact amount of classes that went on, but there was 250 classes, 70-90 class, an intermediate class, our advanced class. So I think there was like 5 or 6 different classes.
Oh, nice. So you guys made a whole day of it. Was everything one moto?
No, so our event was one moto, but all the other races were 2 moto format.
Excellent. So, how many guys lined up in the main event?
So we took 9 people from the main event, and it was a pretty full. I think we had 18 people to start, so we eliminated 9.
And how did the eliminations go?
So it was head-to-head battles, and then whoever lost the head-to-head battles would go into an LCQ, and then we only took 2 from the LCQ, and they would just go. The LCQ would just, all of them would race out of the whole shot.
Nice.
For 2 laps.
For 2 laps. And how long were the laps?
It's about 7 minutes, 6:50.
Wow. So you had to be on to make it happen. It's longer than a motocross lap, but it's still, 12 minutes isn't long to get your job done if you get a bad start.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was definitely hard to make passes for sure.
Wow. So we line up in the main. I know who the top 3 guys on the box were, but who were the other 6 riders in the main event with you?
So we had Joel Hetrick, myself, Jeffery Rastrelli, Nick Janusa, Max Lindquist, Logan Stanfield, Wesley Wolf, Vince Merman, and I'm forgetting one. I don't know why. Forgetting someone.
Well, you'll remember and you'll let me know. When you guys lined up on the start, how did you come out?
So I came out 3rd behind Brandon Hoag, and then we were all pretty tight till we went into the woods. And then about halfway through the woods, Brandon was having a mechanical issue, and I wasn't able to get around him until on the moto track. And after I got around him, I kind of just held my pace all the way through the moto and just rode me.
And Joel had already said, I got a place to be. You guys stay there and race by yourselves.
Yeah. Brandon was having that mechanical issue through the woods. He was stuck in, I think, 2nd gear. So Joel was able to get a pretty good gap on us.
Wow. That's the person you forgot was Hoag.
Yep, that's right.
Well, so 3rd coming out of the chute was Jeffrey right behind you the whole time?
Yes. Yep.
So once you guys broke free of Hoag, it was you and Rastrelli just on your own accord with everybody else in tow?
Yeah, so after we got around Hoag, I mean, it was a pretty tight race. I mean, everyone was keeping each other honest behind me. So it was like Joel, pretty good gap, and then it was me and everyone else, keeping everyone pretty honest. And then it started separating as the laps went on, just little gaps. But yep. So
when you were
all kind of keeping each other in touch.
When you were out there riding around in 2nd, were you looking for Joel, or were you just trying to maintain the position you were in?
I mean, I was keeping in mind where Joel was, like, on the when we got to the moto track, I was looking to see where he was every lap. But I was also, keeping, just trying to go as hard as I possibly could to get away from the guys behind me.
What was going through your head when you were out there running around in second? Because you kind of had clean air too.
Yeah. Well, when I had the whole shot, or when I had third out of the whole shot, I was like, all right, sweet, I'm up here. That's good. And then we got around Hoag. I was like, all right, this is going to be a good race. And so I just knew I had to hold my pace. And it was about the second lap, my rear brakes went out. And I was like, oh boy, this is going to be tough. So at that point, I was like, oh man, like, I just a bunch of stuff was going through my head right there. I shook my head over the one tabletop, like, this can't be it. I can't lose the race to my rear brakes going out. So I just pushed through it and did the best I could. And honestly, I think it made me a little faster. So I didn't use as much brakes and I was on the gas a little bit more. So, but
Because it was a home facility for you, do you think that gave you the clear-cut advantage over the rest of the guys behind you?
it for sure gave me an advantage. I think. I mean, I get to practice here all the time, so I'm not going to say it doesn't give me an advantage. It's definitely my home track, so for sure.
That's awesome. Now, I want to get really in depth with you on a bigger picture as far as the industry goes. Your family already does so much for the ATV industry and some of the motorcycle industry with the facility that's there. The impact that this race has for the overall outcome of the ATV industry for the riders that benefit, you being one of them. What do you think that is, or what do you how do you think that relates to everybody down the road? It's a big question
I'm
for
s-
you.
I'm sorry, you broke up during some of that, and
Okay,
I got.
so basically, the impact of what the Decker race has done to impact and benefit the ATV industry. Do you think that that's going to be a lasting ripple and something that is going to benefit the industry for a long period of time? I want the long answer.
So yeah, for sure. We already plan on having another event next year. We already have sponsors that are already lined up for next year. That have already put in money for next year. So it's definitely going to be an annual event. And I think that we've had positive feedback. So it's definitely it's a nice race to give back to the riders, right? So like this weekend, there was a $28,000 purse, $27,000 purse. So I walked away with 7 grand. Joel walked away with 15,000, and Jeffrey walked away with 5 grand. That's just the podium spots, and that's like the biggest payout that's the biggest payout I've ever gotten. I know it's probably one of the biggest payouts that those guys have got. So it's real nice, just getting a good payout back. The Nationals don't really give us payouts like that, so it was just nice.
So, do you think that events like this, you're talking about your race, the Huevos race, the invitational that they had, do you think that those style of races are going to start benefiting and popping up all over across the nation so that it's an invitational race that you guys can make money at? Do you think you could see the industry leaning towards that instead of chasing a national title? You got guys just chasing dollars.
I don't think that it will ever completely go that route, but I mean, unless we could obviously make more money and a career out of that, because obviously, like these guys, all of us, we're in this. This is our job, so we're in this to make money as our job. You know what I mean? So, if there was a point where we could make more money doing that, sure, I'm sure we would. But I think that day with nationals, getting points and accumulating championships for as long as the series lasts, and we can make money from that.
How about the sponsors that are helping out with a race like your family's race? How about them dedicating more money to the purses at the specific national races. What do you think? Something like that? Do you think that's going to happen?
Um, it's it's hard to tell. Like I would love for that to happen. I mean, I think we would all love for that to happen. Um, but I think that we just need more. We need more fans, more people coming and supporting the races. Um, and I think once we start getting more people, more fans, more riders, I think then we'll start getting a bigger return.
Do you think that promotion? I mean, I don't know. I don't know the behind the scenes with the promotions that went on for this race with you guys, radio, TV, in the local area. Do you think that those are things that each national race should do to help grow the event?
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Like I know Briarcliff last year, they sent out like brochures or just like posters that you can post up on like local towns like the light poles or whatever. Just bring to your local stores and they just hand out, and that actually got a lot of local people to just come and watch that race. So I think if we did like you said, radio stations, posters, stuff like that would definitely build it up more for sure. More promotion, absolutely.
I think that should almost be mandated in the deal. If you're going to get a race, you have to do these promotions because the promoters are taking the money that the racers are bringing them and running. They're
Yep,
not doing anything to promote it to bring even more money into the sport.
yep,
I like when I was
I
talking to your
agree.
mom and dad, your dad said, "Hey, the cool beach is 45 minutes down the road. If mama doesn't want to go, she can go down to the beach with the kids and you can come, you dads or you moms that want to watch can come and watch the race and then meet up with them later, you know."
Yep, yep.
I mean, that was a good take on his part. Anything specific happened during the day to let you know that it was basically going to be your day to excel to the top of the field?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, um, oh, you there?
There you go. Yeah, you're there. Still
Um,
recording. We're still good.
so yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. It honestly felt like I was waking up to another national. So that's how I treated it. I treated it like it was another, like we were at a national event. And as like it was a practice race for Gatorback. So um, throughout the mornings, I was studying the track, watching the gate drops, um, and just watching how it developed with the other riders riding. Um, so it was just another normal day. I kind of just went in. I felt really good in practice that morning, the 2 laps that we had. Um, so I was just going in with confidence and hoping that I was going to get a good hole shot.
Well, you did get a good start, and that it set the tone for your afternoon. Let's get into the camp. How did things go on Sunday for the camp?
Camp was great. We got a little bit of rain in the afternoon, um, like the final hour and a half, but the rest of the day was awesome. We started at 8 a.m. was our riders meeting. Um, all of us got together and then we started riding. Riders were on the track at 9 a.m. and we went all the way till 3 p.m. Well, we went all the way till 2 p.m. Rain started coming and we brought all the riders into the gym. Brandon Hoag talked to the guys about fitness and what they can do off the bike and stuff. So it was a really cool day. I feel like it was really cool to excel and learn from us. Quite a few guys at the beginning of the day. I was working in one section and they all said they wanted to hit this triple. And me working with jumps with kids is like that's like the scariest thing for me because obviously I don't want them to wreck, and I don't want that I don't want to see that now. I kind of just had those guys had them pace me over the jump, and they finally all of the guys in my group started hitting the triple, and you could just see how much more confident that they got with themselves that, wow, we can actually hit this jump. Like it is possible. Like it was just cool. It was cool to see like them all being real appreciative and it was just neat.
Beans that you were on the podium the day before and you got one of them big checks, that gave credibility to you also. So those younger riders are looking up with bigger eyes. Wow, this guy actually did it. And now he's here teaching me how to jump.
Yeah, yeah, I know that if I was a kid and if I was, in one of those guys' shoes watching this race, I would think the same thing.
So, not to put any pressure on you, you know that everybody that's a fan is going to expect these kind of results at Gatorback and for the rest of the year.
Yep, absolutely. And it's what we're kind of trying to, it's what we're aiming for. Obviously, we're, aiming to have good results and results just like this. So I'm gonna continue to keep training and putting out my best efforts that I can on the track, and hopefully the results will come.
Well, I appreciate that. And I know I put you on the spot with a big league answer, being such a young man as you are, with the race question about how it's going to impact the industry. Being in that I've been doing this as long as I have, I think that those large payout races will do nothing but bring more advertising, more sponsors, more people are going
Yeah.
to be interested because they're seeing this. You get great content for people like myself and the other shows that are going on, the magazines, so on and so forth, that are producing. It's giving us a great platform to show what our sport can do. And you guys deserve money, just like everybody else. You guys deserve a paycheck when you go out and ride as hard as you do.
Well, thank you. Yes, I can definitely see like events like this. It's cool. I think it would definitely draw in people, like for sure, if the promotion was right and stuff like that. I know that it reminds me almost like the Red Bull does an event every year. It's just at this like training yard, and they just do like it's like an X Games competition. There's judges, and they just judge them, and there's like 4 or 5 riders. Almost reminds me similar to that. It's like an invite only, and they get a pretty good crowd. And then they make pretty good money. So I think if we could have more races like this, and like I said, if the promotion was good and I think it would definitely be cool to do more of them.
Have you guys ever looked into possibly getting a national at your track?
Um, we haven't really looked into it that much. We got as far as looking into getting our AMA license, and that was about it.
It's a lot of work. A lot of work to put
Yeah,
on a
and
big
honestly,
national.
we just need more parking.
Yeah, you guys can already hold a lot, but I guess for a national, you're going to get double or triple that amount. So you would
Yeah,
need even more.
exactly.
Wow. Well, hey, I want to
Exactly.
thank you so much for taking the time with me to give us a recap on the Decker facility race. And what exactly did you guys call that race?
We call it the ATV Spring Break Showdown.
ATV Spring Break Showdown. That's pretty cool. It's a catchy name. Do you think it'll be on the same time frame next year?
Should be based on the series schedule that comes out at our banquet next year. We're going to base it off of that.
Nice. That's awesome. That's awesome. Zach, again, thank you so much for your time.